At Tower, we're on a mission to simplify insurance. So we're making our policies easier to read and understand. Complicated insurance language is out, simple is in. With New Zealand's first car, house and contents policies awarded the right mark, plain language standard. Tower. What the world does, we undo.
My parents have taught me that, no matter what, they'll always be there for me and they'll always support me, and that I make my own path. Nobody can do that for me but myself. And looking back, I think it's a pretty good path.
This Olympic weightlifting New Zealand event is proudly brought to you by Tower Insurance.
Welcome back to Functional Strength HQ in Auckland's North Shore as we continue on day 2 of the Tower Insurance Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand National Championships. It's already been a record-setting day. Can we see more from our next category, our next class of athletes, the women's under 71 kilogram group, ready to be welcomed out to centre stage.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tower Insurance Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand National Championships and the introduction of the 71 kilo class. So our athletes today, starting with Holly Drone, representing the Functional Strength Olympic. Amanda Gould from Thailand. Grace Small from TKO. Sam Hansen from Nation Barbell Club. Catherine Nielsen from CCW. Alyssa Roy from Alton Strength. Samara Wright from the Bay of Plenty Barbell Club. Bailey Green from PSBC. Piper Gwynn from Palmerston North. Megan Gifford from Papakotto. Teresa Whale from 3216. And rounding out the session, Kelsey Chapman, also from Papakotto. Those are our athletes for the 71 kg women's class. And welcoming our officials for this session. Our officials today, our centre referee is Gary Marshall. Referee Jess Green. Referee Flo Alsana. Our Chief Marshal is Keisha Dean. Our timekeeper is Kirsten Walker. And technical controller is Barbara Green. thank you, officials. The competition will begin in a little under 10 minutes' time.
Continuing on here at the Tower Insurance Olympic New Zealand Weightlifting National Champs, Ricky Swanell, and with me, Richie Patterson. Richie, first we're going to go back before we have a look at this and go to your charge, Cameron McTaggart, and the records he set today. How proud are you of what he has achieved here at the Nationals?
Yeah, pretty good lifting. He's been hitting some really good numbers in training, and it doesn't matter what you do in training, it's putting it on the platform, and he nailed it today, so it's pretty special.
Now we're moving on to the women's under 71 kilogram class. This is a big class, 12 athletes competing. What can we expect from this group of women?
We've got some really strong junior athletes in this. A number of them went to the World Juniors, Piper Gwynn and Sam Hansen, and then we've got one of our leading contenders for Tokyo, Megan Signal, in this category. She's weighing over in her usual class today, so we'll see some bigger lifts because the extra body weight, and hopefully we'll give her a little bit more strength.
So there's competition within the competition, because as you said, some of these juniors are very well matched.
Yeah, this is a really tight weightlifting session for these junior athletes, and this is talent. We're going to see some real talent today.
Well, we can't wait to see some of these juniors, and of course Megan Signal and others in action in this women 71 kilogram class. They've got about 8.5 minutes left of the warm-up, so we'll sneak over the back and have a look at how they're going and get ready for this next session. 4.5 minutes away from our first competitor hitting the platform in this women's 71 kilogram category. First up at this stage, Bailey Green, her entry weight, the snatch, first weight, the snatch 50 kilos. As I said earlier, Rich, it's a big class, 12 athletes. Looking through some of their numbers, what they're looking at maybe their opening attempts.
Just looking at the date of birth, you'll see Bailey's 2002, big spread. Amanda Gould, 1986.
Sure, Amanda will be thrilled that we've just pointed that out.
Sure, she'll come back and look at this and be proud that she's still pegging it with the young ones. So a number of those early lifters will be junior athletes. And this is the junior and senior national championships. So junior being under the age of 20 years. Some of them we've seen over the weekend at age of 13. Some will be in their final years as juniors. Often as a junior athlete, especially with maturity and growth, you'll be hitting your top numbers in your final year as a junior. And as we mentioned in those interviews earlier, we have Samantha Hansen, 1999, Piper Gwynn, 2000. They will be a very strong competition for the junior title.
So 6 juniors, 5 of those also classed competing in the senior category as well. So you can be in both if you've qualified in both.
Just looking out the back at the moment. Bailey just sitting with her coach, Nerily King. Nerily King last night inducted as a life member to Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand. She has done a lot for our sport. She's on the IWF Women's Commission, the Commonwealth Weightlifting Women's Commission. She's our anti-doping officer and a number of other roles as well.
You don't just get one job, do you? It's all hands on deck and lots of multiple roles, lots of multitasking.
That's how our sport functions, and we thank all of those that contribute to it each and every year.
We were chatting earlier because we know the AGM was last night, and you are now the president of Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand. We were a bit concerned that we might have to call you Mr. President today.
No, it's all right. But yeah, I'm excited. And I'm excited how well this weekend's gone. So this is a really good platform to build for us for the next 12 months. Olympic year 2020, Tokyo is always a special year for weightlifting, the Olympic year. And then trying to take this group of weightlifters through to the next Commonwealth Games in 2022. But it's really exciting times for our sport. We've had a massive influx of clubs in the last 12 months. And all represented here, and we're just trying to build this momentum in our sport, and it's doing very well.
So we're close to a minute to go, or a minute countdown is on now, and we'll just under a minute. So we will hear our first athlete called in the women's 71 kilogram class. We've said lots of really talented juniors, plus of course Megan Signal, who has had a fine year so far and is hoping to build towards Olympic qualification. She will be out a little bit later.
Just seeing the athletes in the waiting area. So these two athletes have finished their warm-up, where they may have warmed up to the weight that they will start on the main platform. And you just try to get that timing right. And this is often the most nerve-wracking time for an athlete, is just sitting here and keeping your heart rate down, not getting overwhelmed before you walk out in front of the bright lights. So they look very composed at the moment.
Bailey Green there, number 8 into costume. She is going to be first to compete. 17 years of age, Pakuranga College. Big, deep breath. Always tough being the first one out. 50 kilograms on the bar to start for Bailey Green, opening attempt at the snatch. Nice composed start too from the teenager. Nice and patient, giving away nothing on her face.
A call is now on Catherine Niels for her first attempt in the snatch.
Just see how well she just sits there and waits until that bar's stable overhead. Really controlled lifting, and looks like she's certainly got more in the bank there.
Catherine Nielsen will be next out, but just gone up 1 kilogram to 51. We'll leave the crowd do the commentary. They thought it was easy. It looked easy. And a nice opening lift from Catherine Nielsen.
Catherine being one of those contributors for the weekend. She was in here being the official photographer all of yesterday. Does some fantastic work with the photos of Olympic weightlifting, capturing those positions and angles that we all love in weightlifting. Really powerful opening attempt from her. That was good to see her get on the board like that.
So at the moment, 52 kilos, which is we are waiting for Catherine Nielsen, but now we already start to see the coaches to the table looking across what may be next.
You don't want to speak too loud. You see the coaches all just quite closely just whispering between themselves, what are we going to take next? You don't want to say it too loud because the coach next to them has got his ears open and he's going, well, I know what you're going to do if you're telling me.
53 kilos on the bar, please.
Game of chess.
Yeah. Getting in all the angles for the photographs as well. So that clock was stopped by Catherine Nielsen and her team, and it's gone now to be loaded at 53, and that will be Bailey Green again. But nice and composed, relaxed in her first attempt. Much like that first lift, just waited and got herself steady and now allows herself a little smile. It was a bit tougher.
We have 54 kilos on the bar, please, loaders.
Just a really good show of control in that bottom position. You just see her rock back on her toes, heels, and stabilizes it, centralizes it on the foot and stands it up.
Thank you, loaders. The bar is open and the clock is on for Bailey Green.
Between Bailey Green and Catherine Nielsen at the moment. Bailey just ups her total to 56, and at the moment, with the change of call, they bring Grace Small out for her first attempt. We'll wait to see. Loaders rush to duty.
This will see Grace Small come out for her first attempt in the snatch. Thank you, ladies.
And it is Grace Small,
Let's get down, everyone. Come on, Grace.
17-year-old, another of the exciting juniors.
A bit of the sponsor's tape all over her back there, D3 right in the back, beautiful.
Grace Small, 55 kilograms. Call from the coach came, but just couldn't quite get there for Grace Small. So a no lift on her first attempt.
Will remain on the bar. The call is now on Alyssa Roy for her first attempt in the snatch. Thank you, ladies, and here she is. Let's get behind everyone. Come on, Alyssa.
55 brings Alyssa Roy to the barbell for her first attempt. Also previously successful at the New Zealand Secondary School Championships a few months back.
Murmur of approval goes round the crowd here at Functional Strength HQ. Happy with the start by Alyssa Roy.
Being coached by Lou Ganares. Lou, a Commonwealth Games representative, Delhi 2010. Lou and his brother, prominent lightweight weightlifters for the past 10 odd years in New Zealand weightlifting, now taking roles as coaching. See Catherine Nielsen back to the barbell.
Catherine Nielsen, second successful attempt at the snatch, this time a good lift at 55 kilograms.
It was really patient from her to not rush out of the squat. You just saw how she just took her time, stabilized it. She was balanced overhead, so she didn't need to rush it, and really well executed.
That'd be the temptation, wouldn't it? So, I think her first 55, a second attempt here. Good comeback, good fight back, 55 kilos, second attempt for Grace Small.
Can we have 56 kilos on the bar, please, ladies? This will be for Bailey Green on her final attempt in the snatch.
Bailey Green, our first competitor out, and she'll be first to finish in the snatch competition. Junior athlete, just 17 years of age, has had 2 good lifts so far now, 56. Shake of the head, didn't quite get that, and a little frustrated, but 2 good lifts to start though for Bailey Green. So a no lift at 56, so she'll take through 53, her best from the snatch.
Keep this bar nice and tight up the body, but just slightly forward of the shoulders. Just that load, if it just sits forward of your toes, it's just going to come back down. Catherine Nielsen prepping for her final lift. Currently the bar is loaded to 58 kilograms. Catherine 2 from 2. See the kiwi and the maple leaf on her shoulder.
Let's get behind everyone. Her final attempt. Come on, Catherine. Good one.
Also misses in her third attempt at snatch, 58, too much for Catherine Nielsen, so she'll have to be content with 55. Second attempt, the best effort at snatch.
Often what we see in weightlifting, your first lift generally is something that you should be comfortable with buying into the competition. Your second pushes you around your best, and your third is when you're reaching into new territory, and that's often where we'll see a little bit of the red on the scoreboard.
Now Alyssa Roy, a really nice start. Now raise that total by 4 to 59. A very relaxed, good lift from Alyssa Roy.
She's so strong overhead. She just doesn't even shift. It just hits it, stabilizes it. The structure is just spot on. It really doesn't look like it's going to move once she's locked it out.
Now the number's starting to go up, heading into the 60s, and it's 61 on the bar for Alyssa Roy at the moment. She's just had 2 excellent lifts to start.
Here we see Grace Small just preparing in the waiting area. She's got 62 down for her next attempt, and we're just seeing a couple of changes at the board. Grace Small representing TKO Barbell out of Hamilton, one of our newest clubs. They affiliated within the last month of qualification for this event, so the athletes qualified at the secondary school championships to be at the senior and junior championships. And they are producing some fantastic athletes already, based out of a CrossFit gym. Seeing a lot of these young ladies falling in love with the sport of Olympic weightlifting after being introduced to the barbell through CrossFit, and also proving that they are very talented and likely to go a long way in the sport.
It is Grace Small again. Big jump, 55 successful with her second attempt at snatch. This is her third and final, now up to 62. Lost some control.
It was a pretty good effort considering that it was a 7-kilogram jump. You don't usually see such large jumps. You're usually working your 3 to 5 kilogram range, but a 7 kilo just proved a little too much.
Important though for Grace, she gets a score on the board. 1 good lift in the snatch, and that allows her to progress through to the second phase of competition in the clean and jerk. And that brings Alyssa Roy back out, who has a really good sequence of lifts together so far, and now looking for 62.
Just really calm.
No problem again. Has made it look pretty simple in her first 3 lifts in the snatch. Alyssa Roy will go through 62, her best total.
Just see that left hand, she just grips it. Her routine's 1, 2, 3 grips and a lift.
So she looks like she's very much in control and precise with her routine. She comes out just 17 years of age too, Alyssa Roy. So now Teresa Whale, first time for her now, 65 kilograms.
Also representing one of Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand's new clubs, 3216.
Can't control her first one, and a little bit sore too. She's clutching that arm, elbow, and just needs to just regather herself and that composure back.
Just lets it roll a little bit. Look too significant. Hopefully she'll be able to just calm down mentally and come out for her second lift. She's going to be following herself. Next designated lifter is 70 kilos, so she's not going to get the opportunity to get a break, but she will get the opportunity to run down a 2-minute clock.
It's a little bit longer. Chance just to chat it out with the coach and just relax a little bit, shake it out, and then refocus.
think you'll find they're not even talking about weightlifting right now. What are we going to have for dinner?
Yeah, I was just thinking, what's for dinner?
What do you want for dinner?
What are we going to do for
I don't
the
know.
game
What do you want?
tonight?
What do you want for dinner? He's like, oh, just make a decision, please. I've been in those conversations before. Still haven't come to a conclusive decision on dinner, I don't think. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, they've made a decision.
Mexican.
Mexican.
And out she comes again, Teresa, for her second attempt at 65, and then that's probably a good way to do it, put a smile on the face, and then
I think
back
this is
to
going to be
work.
good. She's smiling, so I think this will be a good lift.
a smile on the way up as well. A really good comeback too.
You can just tell by the mindset. She came into that, there was no hesitation. She was smiling, it was positive. That was always going to be a good lift, even before she touched the barbell.
Right from, I mean, it's 2 minutes from between missing a no lift at that weight and then coming out and completely changing your mindset. Impressive to be able to do that.
It's the same platform, it's the same weight, it's the same lift that you've done thousands of times already. You don't need to change anything, but that's the battle. It's not changing anything. When you miss one out the front, you feel like you might need to do something different or something more, and that's when you overdo it and you throw it over the back the next time, but she did really well then. I think she's just really happy about Mexican.
67 kilos. Thank you, loaders. Has been loaded.
So she's taken it up a couple of notches to 67 kilos. To relax that body again.
3216, new club as well, affiliated this year, the Waikato region. Great to see the sport and the number of clubs growing in the Waikato region. Also based out of a CrossFit. I know that's a number of initiatives that we as Olympic Weightlifting are doing, is approaching the facilities that can host and have the facilities to do so, weightlifting clubs. We've seen a massive uptake from CrossFits around New Zealand.
Well, this is the thing too, it's not just as simple as, oh yeah, let's do it. It's actually having the facility and the space and all of that to get going in the first place, and that's where a lot of these CrossFit gyms, you're seeing opening up all around the place, big spaces.
I believe when I first started Olympic weightlifting, there was one women's bar in the whole of New Zealand.
Well, now Therese Whale again, soaking up a bit of the atmosphere as well, 68 kilograms now. She even does her own commentary. And thrilled with that effort. Missed it her first attempt and then came back and really performed well.
It's so good just to see someone enjoying being on the platform, it really is. You're under 68 kilograms and just giving yourself a commentary and having a good time. It's not something we do every day in New Zealand, is it?
So Teresa Whale finishes up with a 68 kilogram snatch. That's her complete in this first phase of this women's 71 kg competition.
Next up we have one of our New Zealand representatives, Samara Wright, set New Zealand records in the secondary school championships. However, I did just see her do a lift out the back, so I don't think she's going to take 70 kilos. And that is Ray Everest, changing right at the board right now, so he'll be buying her just a bit more time to recover from that last warm-up lift.
So she's popped up to 73 at this stage now. It's with Piper Gwynn, another of the juniors, holder of some national records as well in the junior level.
We've got a couple of different athletes here. We've got athletes that are really strong in the snatch discipline, and then you've got athletes that are more so in the clean and jerk that will make up. So what I'm predicting is that we may see an athlete take the lead, but then be heavily challenged in the clean and jerk. And that's what we've seen in about the last 3 or 4 events between these young junior athletes. This has ended up being the last lift of the competition that wins it. So we're going to see something special later, but first they've got to get on the board. Here's Piper, almost ready. I think she thinks that the bar might move up to 73. She's got 73 down on the scoreboard. Bit of jostling going on backstage.
Oh, it is 73. And just trying to. This is the bit when you're almost there. Trying to stay relaxed, focused, and warm.
Piper earlier this year competed at the World Junior Weightlifting Championships in Fiji. Lifted exceptionally well.
And it is going to be Piper Gwyn with a big deep breath. It's a little bit tense. Trying to relax with Piper Gwyn, 19-year-old. Oh, disappointing start for Piper Gwyn. Just no lift to start at 73. Looks a little bit anxious, perhaps.
Just left it slightly forward. It didn't look too hard off the ground. It moved smoothly. Everybody else has moved up. So Samantha's moved to 74. So that's going to have Piper sitting there, and her coach is going to have to make a decision. Pretty hot day in Auckland here today. Good use of the sponsor's product.
They might finally have made it to summer. Good day to be indoors.
Full house at Functional Strength HQ. Certainly makes it a little bit hotter, especially the atmosphere. Piper looks like she's going to take 73 because the clock is counting down. The way this works is the athletes will need to declare what they want to do within the first 30 seconds. So you can't muck around. You've got to go backstage and convince your coach that, hey, I'm good for more, or let's stay on the same weight. But if you haven't declared the weight after the first 30 seconds, you're stuck on that weight. If you did declare the weight, you can change up to the last 30 seconds. So you can buy that option. Doesn't cost anything, just the signature, but at least it might just give you an option to go up 1 kilogram and buy a bit more rest.
So under a minute now. As if Piper Gwyn is going to soak up a little bit more of that time. Now she heads back out to the platform for a second attempt at 73 kilograms.
Let's get behind everyone on the second attempt doing snatch. Come on, Piper.
Much better. Excellent second effort, and yeah, able just to relax a little bit. Happy with that, 73 kilos.
Coach does a good job there. I think she's just looking a little bit under pressure, and he's just helping her relax as she walks off. He just makes her relax a little bit. Brings out a smile. As I said, if you're smiling, you're generally in a good space mentally. So if you can bring yourself into that space, you generally see more success from athletes. Stage Piper's going to probably push through to 75, which will change the lifting order.
We have 75 kilos on the bar, please. The call is now on.
So at the moment it's 75, and that's on fully drained, but Samara Wright, in fact, going to be next and looks ready to roll too. Well, she can get a wardrobe malfunction sorted. There we go. Samara Wright, the exciting 18-year-old, purposefully walks to the platform. Wide smile, she knew straight away, did it easily.
Very dynamic. The strength of this lift is how little time she actually spends following the bar up. She gets it right on the hip and then she's down into bottom position. Just no wasted space between extension and receiving the bar, and that's like a world level technique.
She was non-travelling reserve for the Youth Olympics. Well, so it just shows the quality and good attitude towards it too.
Can we have 76 kilos on the
The best way to explain it is you drag that bar right up into that extension position across the hip, and as soon as you open your hip, that bar has momentum. It's going to travel. It's kind of like throwing a ball up in the air. And then as soon as you've given that bar momentum, you want to change direction with the body and you want to get yourself down. So as the bar's going up, you're going down, and then we meet the bar at what we call apex. So that's where the bar's at its highest position and you set your structure right underneath it. So the tighter you can get into that position, the better.
Here's Amanda Gould, 77 kilos, her first attempt at the snatch. New weight class for Amanda this year. Veteran lifter. And a good start for her as well, the Otago Weightlifting Club. I think she's pleased to get that first one out of the way. Felt a little bit nervous earlier today.
Amanda, again, another one of our contributors to the sport. She was here at the AGM last night as a South Island delegate, and then on the live stream earlier.
And now Samantha Hansen, another junior. She's 20 years of age, so the junior category is up to and including 20 years of age.
This is an impressive opener, 77 kilograms. She is the New Zealand record holder, junior record holder.
Took her a little bit to get it under control. 2 white lights and 1 red and an exhale of breath. Good start, a difficult start, but successful.
The referees get to make a decision and they don't show up on that board until 3 seconds later, and it can be quite sometimes the longest 3 seconds of your life.
Now Kelsey Chapman for the first time also at 77.
Hit it, and then just, as I said, just rushed out of that bottom squat position. I think that's what let it go forward. Then the replay.
Well, she was talking as she was walking off, talking to her coach. They knew pretty well what she'd got not quite right there. Now we're sitting in the 77, sitting on 77 for a couple of the lifters.
So what you saw there was Ray had Samara right sitting on 77. He waited for the clock to start, which took a minute, and then that forced Kelsey straight back out. This is going to be hard work now. You've just had your rest taken away from you completely.
the canny coach move to burn the time of an opponent. So second attempt straight away here for Kelsey Chapman. This one goes backwards, so lost her first one forward, now second one backwards, and that's really going to put the pressure on Kelsey Chapman, who has missed her first 2 attempts at the snatch, 2 no lifts.
Just looking at the scoreboard again, and that opportunity to burn the clock might happen once again if Piper moves up. Kelsey could be pushed out for a 3rd attempt in a row. No, Piper's going to take it. That's good. That's going to give Kelsey a break.
It's a sigh of relief, I'm sure, from Kelsey Chapman. And so Piper Gwynn, who was successful with her 2nd attempt at 73 kilograms, now jumping up to 77. Forward. Saying she losing some of that balance, so difficult start to the competition for Piper Gwynn, but she's got a score on the board. You need to get 1 good lift in the snatch, and she did that at 73, so that's what she'll take through to the clean and jerk, remembering there's 6 junior athletes in this competition. Now the heat's really on Kelsey Chapman here. 2 no lifts at 77, must get this to stay in the competition. And can't complete that one either. This didn't happen for Kelsey Chapman today. Yeah, shake of the head, shrug of the shoulders, disappointing. So 3 missed attempts, 3 no lifts, 77 kilos for Kelsey Chapman, disappointing. Now Holly Drain, first time we've seen her. She has got 78 kilograms on the board here. Leading for the local club, functional strength. And good support for her as well. Impressive start for Holly Drain.
Super patient in that bottom position.
She's full of focus as well on the face. This is weird.
Trains out of our facility here at Functional Strength. And her biggest weakness is the legs, so she did very well to pause that and come out of it, what we call a dead squat position. Certainly put a lot of pressure on these athletes now with that opener.
So Samara Wright was really impressive with her opener, 75, did it with ease. She's looked nice and relaxed so far, but now stepping up to 79. Held it and got it.
Referee, no lift. Fortunately, that was just a little bit soft. I thought that when I saw it. It came down, and you'll just see just a little bit soft in the elbows. One of the technicalities of weightlifting. Just so subtle. Such a harsh rule, but that's the rules of weightlifting. You've got to not let anything move.
Amazing how subtle it is, but still noticeable at the same time. That would have equaled the junior snatch record.
I wouldn't be surprised if she moves up on that. The problem is that makes you in a hard position. You choose, do I take that again? But I did get it, and it was just soft, and it gives you confidence to go up. If you go up and you're not successful, you're going to end back at 75. So it actually creates a bit of a coaching dilemma for you.
Has gone up to 80, so that's just stopped the clock momentarily. Amanda Gould will be next out.
currently we have Holly Drain in first position with her opening 78 kilo snatch. And this will give Amanda the lead by 2 kilos if successful.
8 kilos, bars been loaded to 8 kilos, and the clock is on for Amanda. Here she is. Let's get behind everyone. Come on.
No lift for Amanda Gould. Scrunch of the face. So that was at 80 kilograms, so a miss for her there.
I think now we're going to see a New Zealand junior record attempt. 80 kilograms. Samantha already holds it at 79, so this will be just 0.5 on each side, but it's just enough to make it just that little bit more challenging. New Zealand junior record attempt, Samantha Hansen.
A big smile across her face, and she does hold it as she does set a new junior record, breaking her own mark. So it has moved that from 79 to 80 kilograms. Samantha Hansen, who final nationals as a junior.
And this is going to put the call now on Samara. Does Samara go 81 to claim the record? I think she might be lining that up.
And the clock is on for Samara Wright.
Getting down to the last few lifts for this group, because we're yet to see Megan Signal. She's not to 85, her first.
No, they're going to try and equal it just for competition. So not getting too greedy, just want to try and close that and keep in the competition for the clean and jerk. So, oh, I was wrong. They will move up to 81 and will have an attempt at a New Zealand record. However, the call goes back to a number of other athletes.
It was a late stop of the clock, but nonetheless, so it'll bring out Amanda Gould next. No, it's in fact she stopped it as well, so a real cat and mouse here.
Now that forces Holly Drain out, so that really changed the lifting order quickly.
Thank you, loaded. Bars loaded, and the clock is on. Here she is. Let's get behind everyone.
Holly opened very heavy, 78. So this is going to be right in that upper limit.
She is able to hold it.
She's determined. There's no smile. Walks off straight back over into the seat.
She's really focused, really intense.
Okay, so here we have lined up our second New Zealand junior record attempt. So the record was set just previously. This could be one of the shortest records you'll ever hold if successful. Samara Wright, 81 kilograms, New Zealand junior record attempt. Just having a little bit of a technical, so we're just going to slow down. It's hard to do as an athlete as well. She was ready to walk out. You've got to almost hit the reset button and get hyped up again.
She looks like she stays relatively nice and relaxed. These lifters have already completed the snatch section. You can see at various phases in their warm-up for the clean and jerk.
Quite relaxed out the back there. Certainly not the most intense group of coaches I've ever seen.
All men who are lifting in the next session, that is the men's 89 kilo session. Weigh-in is starting in 2 minutes.
Just having some scoreboard technical difficulties. They need to reset a few cells.
After this session here.
Just because Excel does it to the best of us. Just trying to go through and fix a couple of the bits.
Quite hard, as I said, as an athlete, when you're ready to come out and then we have a technical issue.
You could be called upon to go and fix said technical issue. Don't forget to take the headphones off before you try and walk away. That's always the best thing. So Richie's going to go over and try and help sort out the technical issue in this women's 71 kilogram class as we have a look through just how these athletes or where things are at. Remembering we've got 6 competing as juniors as well in this category. 5 of that 6 classes senior athletes too. So competitions within the competitions. We've just already seen New Zealand junior snatch record set. Samantha Hansen breaking her own mark by 1 kilogram. It was 79 as she has had a successful attempt at 80. The likes of Samara Wright perhaps still in contention to have a crack at that too. Keeping in mind podium places on the line as well. Megan Signal still yet to lift, who is the senior record holder, and of course has been in outstanding form. Impressive in the world champs earlier in the year, and is really starting to think and look at New Zealand qualification for the Olympics. I think I hope just see Megan there at the top of picture going through her warm-up. This is difficult for these athletes mid-competition, trying to fix this technical problem. So there's Megan just up there to the right of screen, wandering away now. Missed out on the Commonwealth Games last year due to injury, just could not quite recover in time from ruptured anterior cruciate ligament in her knee. So we're going to have to go manual for a moment. And so Samara Wright is on the clock, attempting 81 kilograms. This is for a new record. And she gets it too. It's a brilliant effort. Absolutely thrilled Samara Wright. So a record set and a record broken.
Okay, 3 right lights. That's a good lift. Awesome break there from Samara.
And it was a good lift.
The bar will remain at 81.
We're going super manual for flags. So Samara Wright.
Can we please have 82 kilos on the bar, please, ladies?
Samantha Hansen
Call is now on Samantha Hansen.
has the call on her. She's at 82 kilos. So remembering it's a real tit for tat between Samara Wright and Samantha Hansen.
And the clock is on.
And the clock is on for Samantha. So set a new record. Then now has just seen it broken and now trying to go up again for 82. Oh, misses it at 82. So a miss for Samantha Hanson at 82. That's where the bar's going to remain for now. So as it stands, the record for the junior is with Samara Wright at 81.
This will be Amanda's final attempt here in the snatch at 83 kilos.
And now Amanda Gould, who missed her second attempt at 80, is now going to go up to 83. She's got one on the board, got her first snatch on the board at 77.
Final attempt here in the snatch. Come on, Amanda.
Missed it over, lost it behind her at 83, so no lift for Amanda Gould, but still has a successful 177.
Final attempt now for Holly Drake. She's done well in her first two lifts. This is going to put her in a very strong position if she's successful with 84.
This will be Holly's final attempt. Thank you, ladies. Bar is open and the clock is on. Here she is. Let's get behind everyone. Come on, Holly.
Full of focus, precise routine. Tense clear. 84 for Holly Drain.
Wow, what a fight. Good lift.
And gets two white flags from the judges, the referees. Really had to fight.
5 kilos on the bar, please, ladies.
Very rare that you can't stand up out of a snatch.
She'll come out for her first attempt.
But she did exceptionally well. A couple of changes going to the board now. Here we'll see Megan Signal lining up for her first attempt. We have 85 kilograms going on the barbell.
So this is the athlete many have come to see here. Megan Signal has been in wonderful form this year. Hoping to get to Tokyo 2020. And this another step towards that. 85 kilos for Megan, first attempt. Great start for Megan Signal. Came out and really dominated. 85 is good.
86 kilos on the bar, please, ladies.
You would have seen Megan got the white flag.
Megan is the final lifter here. So she will be following
Really
the session.
strong overhead position from Megan. That was a very good opening attempt.
So she's the only lifter still remaining. And so she'll have to follow herself back out there. So it will just take a little bit more time. I think it's gone up to 88 kilos. 89 is her New Zealand snatch record in this weight class. She's got it in a couple.
And the clock is on for Megan Signal.
At the moment we see us go into make do mode. We've got a frozen computer system, so we've got an iPhone with the clock happening and we're running it manually, so just to get through the last few lifts before we'd reset for the clean and jerk. So they're doing very well. Hats off to all of the technical officials that can step up and do this.
My pen and papers, and my piece of paper's a mess. Going old school.
Quite handy that the clock can follow you around. Thank you, Jody. Hopefully she doesn't get any kind of messages come through halfway.
You can just see Megan Signal there, just taking the time to regather herself.
Similar to what we saw in the previous session, Simon will buy her as many changes. So what happens after the first change, you'll have 2 more changes, so that just slows the clock down. They stop the clock every time they load the barbell. That 2 minutes becomes 3 minutes, and that 3 minutes helps your recovery and hopefully leads to a successful lift on your second. This will be a New Zealand record.
So this is a jump up to 90. for Megan Signal. Her New Zealand record is 89. It was set in March at the Auckland Champs.
All right, thank you, ladies. Bars loaded and the clock is on for Megan at 90 kilos. Let's get behind everyone. This will be a new New Zealand record. Come on, Megan, bring this.
An attempt at a New Zealand record for Megan Signal. She gets the approval of the crowd and the judges. A New Zealand record for Megan Signal. 90 kilograms in the snatch. Wonderful effort.
That looked better than her opener. It took off like a rocket. He's stoked with that. How good's that smile?
Yeah, she just looks an athlete, so control of her routine and mindset at the moment.
Final attempt in the snatch.
She's going to attempt to raise it even further.
92 kilos, please, ladies. Can we have 92 kilos on the bar?
So Megan does hold the New Zealand record in the category below at
Thank you, ladies.
92 kilograms. So this would be to equal her personal best, I believe. So we might see another change, which will put her into new territory. These are exceptional weights. You're looking at an athlete weighing just over 68 kilograms, placing 90 kilos over their head in one continuous movement. They're not checking social media. There is a clock on that.
Give us a like while you're there.
You are following us on Facebook or YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. You are watching New Zealand records being broken by Olympic hopeful Megan Signal, Kapiti Olympic Weightlifting Club.
If she makes this list, she adds to her New Zealand record.
So this is a New Zealand record and a personal best attempt.
Megan Signal, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Big one.
Record's going up even higher. 93 kilograms for Megan Signal. New Zealand records being broken.
What a great lift. Just sat perfectly on top. She just took her time and then just stood it up. She knew she had it off the ground. I think she was smiling before she even pulled it off the ground.
So new record set in the women's 71 kilogram class in both the junior and senior portion of the snatch. Of course, still the clean and jerk to come here as we continue on at the Tower Insurance Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand National Champs.
At Tower, we're on a mission to simplify insurance. So we're making our policies easier to read and understand. Complicated insurance language is out, simple is in. With New Zealand's first car, house and contents policies awarded the right mark plain language standard. Tower, what the world does, we undo.
So while the athletes warm up out the back for the clean and jerk portion of this women's 71 kilogram class, it will be a slightly longer break than usual, usually 10 minutes or so between the snatch and the clean and jerk, but just while the technical problem is being sorted out and we get the computer back up and running, it'll be a slightly longer break, so we'll be back in 15 minutes for the clean and jerk in the women's 71 kilo.
We have just over 9 minutes till we start our clean event. Just over 9 minutes till we start the clean event. We have just under 6 minutes remaining on the clock. Just under 6 minutes. Five minutes remaining on the clock. 5 minutes remaining. Three minutes 40 remaining on the clock. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Two minutes and 30 seconds remaining now. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We are 2 minutes away from the start of the clean jerks, the session 6, women's 71 kilo class. 2 minutes away. Can we have 62 kilos on the bar, please, ladies? Sorry, 54 kilos. 54 kilos. change of 4, can we have 62 kilos on the bar? 62 kilos. We are 46 for rating starting, but we are still getting the school bit right. We need to get underway. No rush at the moment.
We are getting close to a start here, or a restart, should I say, at the Tower Insurance Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand National Championship. So it's the women's 71 kilogram division, and we are gearing up for the clean and jerk. We've just had a slight technical difficulty, which has meant the computer scoring system shut down momentarily. We hope the team have got it back up and running. They look like they've got things back under control. What we have seen is this national record set by Megan Signal, hugely impressive in the snatch. So her own national record was 89. She beat that with her second attempt at 90 kilograms and then extended that record again, 93 kilograms for Megan Signal, a new New Zealand snatch record for the women's 71 kilogram. We also saw junior records set as well by Samara Wright. Well, initially it was actually by Samantha Hansen. She eclipsed her own mark by 1 kilogram to 80, and then Samara Wright came out and beat it again at 81. So it's a really tight competition in both the junior and senior division of the 71 kilogram women. And we are almost ready to go for the clean and jerk. We've lost one athlete out of this competition, Kelsey Chapman, unable to complete a good lift in the snatch, so it means she doesn't progress, and scoreboard looks like it's back up and running as well. And at this stage it'll be Bailey Green first out in the clean and jerk, the 17-year-old. Some very efficient quick typing has got everything back up and running, because they had to reset all of this and write it all out again, type it all out again.
This will be for Bailey Green's first attempt.
So Neroli King, who has literally just restarted the computer, entered and run a full competition within 10 minutes, and now back out the back to coach. That is what you call a skill.
All right, 60 kilos, 62 kilos is loaded on.
So it is 62 kilos onto the bar first of all, and it's Bailey Green. The clock is ticked down to under a minute now, and so we are ready to get back underway, and it'll be Bailey Green who put 2 good snatch attempts out there, and now starts the clean and jerk with 62. Nice tidy start by Bailey Green as well. Gets the 3 white lights too. The officials' equipment all back working again. So went old school for a while. Now back up and running, and a nice start for Bailey.
Real solid lockout, look at that. That bar is going nowhere when you get those elbows in that position.
Bailey here representing Power Station Barbell Club.
So Bailey coming in at 62. The next athlete is Catherine Nielsen at 68. So we may see Bailey have to follow herself for a couple of attempts, which will see the clock set at 2 minutes. So when an athlete is following themselves, they get 2 minutes. If there's an athlete that in the meantime may be lifting a lift of similar weight or 1 kilo more, then it would move to them. But if you are following yourself, you only get 2 minutes, and it's not a long time.
You can, though, I guess, stop the clock by upping your total slightly, which we've just seen Bailey do a couple of times. Buy yourself a few seconds here or there, depending on how quick the loaders are.
Be interesting to put a pedometer on the loaders of a session. They will be clocking up the kilometers and lifting the weight. So maybe the influx of CrossFitters into weightlifting is beneficial for the loaders.
Well, I have threatened that I'm judging their loading skills, each of the different teams that have come out and been loading. There was a pretty slick effort from this group.
Bit of knowledge for you. The Tokyo Olympic loaders had a qualification process that they had to go through, with teams of 6 racing to change the barbell.
I can only imagine how efficient it will be in Japan. Tokyo is a wonderful
We'll get
country to
no
visit.
rest periods. No rest periods.
So now
It was like a Formula One
I
change.
can imagine Mario Kart. 65 now for Bailey Green. So yes, she is following herself again. She's up this total by 3 kilograms. Looked really good in her first lift. Gets it again, drops the bar. Success at 65.
Super solid overhead. Just dips, changes direction of the barbell, gives it momentum, then punches her body down. Just secures that nice and stable overhead.
It is still going to be Bailey Green at this stage.
The
Clock's on for 66 kilograms. Although the cursor is hovering, so she's going to stop the clock and go up to 67.
We do have the loading team right beside us, so I feel like issuing them a challenge. I believe when we move the bar to 70 kilos, I want to see the fastest 70 kilo change. Let's see how we'd compare to those Tokyo loaders, shall we?
Yeah. The Tokyo loaders, who have been tested in competition to see who can do it the quickest.
They've already picked up the speed a little bit just from that enthusiasm.
Starting to get some practice in because the challenge has been accepted. So up to 68 now for Bailey Green. Grabbed herself a little bit of extra time here because she is having to do 3 consecutive lifts in the clean and jerk. And here comes Bailey, almost ready to go. This tall and lean athlete, slightly longer levers. And now ready to go at her 3rd straight lift. And looking to finish off with 68 kilograms in the clean and jerk. Murmur of approval. Yeah, took her time, didn't she, just to get herself set.
Okay, so here we have 71 kilos going on the bar. Let's have a look at these loaders. They have been issued a change speed.
They have really accepted that challenge too. Well, it's getting a little bit ragged from the lifters, trying to go a bit too fast.
That's pretty good for a full plate change. I'd say that was a good 30 seconds. Well done, loaders.
We've got to keep everybody on their toes. So up to 71 now. And it's Catherine Nielsen, her first attempt at the clean and jerk.
Oh, they're just going to tighten the bar up. And that's what happens when we rush. They're just going to tighten that barbell up just a little bit more. And I believe their Tokyo campaign is over.
All right, ready to go. Come on, Captain. Big lift.
That left elbow didn't look convincing, and the referees agree.
Yeah, no lift for Catherine Nielsen, her first attempt at 71.
It was solid overhead, but you just see that left elbow didn't quite hit lockout. Just flicks it into position. And it actually looks a lot worse if you've actually got really good mobility. Myself, my elbows aren't that good, and that would have actually looked okay because they look horrible anyway. So Catherine, because she has such a great lockout overhead, that subtle movement just is so much more noticeable.
Because it needs to be a continuous motion to get those arms locked together. So a miss, a no lift for Catherine Nielsen at 71. And looking at these numbers, she, much like Bailey Green, maybe following herself a couple of times here. Not too much action up there at this stage. So Catherine just needing to take that time to refocus.
You have just joined us. Welcome. You are watching the 2019 Tower Insurance New Zealand Olympic Weightlifting National Championships. It's a bit of a mouthful. You are watching the women's 71 kilo division.
So here comes Catherine Nielsen for her second attempt at 71 kilograms. Wasn't far off with the first. It's a quick turnaround to have to come back out and do it again. She managed to keep it together this time. Yes, say the judges. 2 white lights and 1 red. Successful effort.
Takes the pressure off, and now she will be able to do whatever she wishes for her third attempt. But certainly needed to secure that total on that one. Had to get those feet in a line before the referee said she can put it down.
You don't have a lot of awareness and presence, don't you, of obviously your own self and where you are on the platform, but also when you've sort of got the okay, those in front of you.
Something that as athletes you practice. You put the weight above your head, you bring your feet back in line, and you hold it for 2 to 3 seconds in training. In the event that the referees say, I'm going to make you hold it there, I've seen athletes have to hold a weight overhead for a good 10 seconds before the referees have actually been happy that you've completed the lift.
So Catherine Nielsen has jumped her total up to 75. So that means it'll be Grace Small who may be out for her first attempt. In fact, she looks ready to go. The corner, a couple of big deep breaths, had some difficulties during the snatch, just the one good lift in that snatch. One's all you need though. And wanting to try and just regain some momentum into the second phase of the competition. Brings it together well, Grace Small. At that time, her first attempt at 75 kilos in the clean and jerk is a good lift.
Call is now on Catherine Nielsen for her final attempt in the clean and jerk and her final lift here at the 2019
Clean and jerk often favours the stronger athletes. You don't need to be as accurate, and you can often get away with a little bit more. You don't get away with in the snatch division portion of the competition. So hopefully that means we're going to see a little bit more success on the board.
So Catherine Nielsen, her final lift in the competition, 75 kilograms in the clean and jerk to round out her work. Little bend in the elbow, lost control of it, so no lift to finish off for Catherine Nielsen, but a total on the board nonetheless. She'll finish off with 126 kilogram total.
Catherine been working super hard this year. She was ecstatic to qualify for nationals and then come here and turn up in great condition. Well done, Catherine.
Another of the 17-year-olds coming out. Alyssa Roy, very impressive in the snatch. Put 3 good lifts on the board and now comes to begin the clean and jerk with 77 kilograms. Took her time to get steady and balanced. Allows a little smile and a laugh. Why not? A 77. Successful.
We commented on her overhead position in the first portion of the comp and looks no different. Just locks that elbow in and then just no movement. Brings the front foot back to that midline, the back foot together. Nice balanced lift.
79 kilos. Call is now on Grace Small. Second attempt in the clean and jerk.
Bar is moving to 79 kilograms for Grace Small from our newest affiliated barbell club, TKO Barbell, out of the Waikato. South a wave, here we are on the live stream.
Oh, I just got cut. Oh yeah, 79 kilograms for Grace Small. Oh, the battle right from the start.
Just pulled it was just forward on the foot. You can see it as she pulled off the ground actually. You see it in the slow-mo. Just pulled her forward onto the toes early and then just comes forward the whole way through. Got one left, one attempt remaining, so she will get the chance to correct that. She's trying to convince her coach to let her go a little bit more. Good camaraderie from the two Waikato clubs there, 3216 and TKO Barbell.
Well, they're all in such close proximity to each other when they're out there warming up, and I know you're trying to focus on what you're doing yourself, but
it's certainly not a sport where you're actually willing your competitors on. It's something that it's the individual versus gravity. We're all the same, and we all wish. It's really unique about weightlifting is that willingness to watch everyone succeed.
It's like Teresa Whale is going to be going next. She missed her first attempt at the snatch, and then we just saw a complete change in all her body language, everything, and came out and put together two really good lifts.
I love watching her lift. Like, look how animated she is. She's really enjoying this. Positive self-talk going on.
And here she comes at 80 kilograms, Teresa Whale. First attempt in the clean and jerk. Successful lift for Teresa Whale.
That was super powerful. Her clean, just like a rocket. Didn't even partially squat underneath that. Her feet close together to stabilize. Takes a small step forward to wait for the referee signal.
Is loaded, and the clock has started for Alyssa Roy.
Megan Signal rolling out the calves there. Already seen her set New Zealand records in the snatch. Locks on Alyssa Roy, who has put together a great sequence of lifts so far. Looks like she's going to stop that clock and change her call.
Still remains on Alyssa. She moved up, but it didn't change the lifting order. Now Grace Small looks ready to go. Maybe we're expecting another change to come from out back. The nature of a weightlifting comp, it usually runs fast or slow, never just perfect.
So this is Alyssa Roy again.
Or 5 from 5, if successful.
Again, good strength. And it's again 3 white lights for Alyssa Roy. Hasn't missed yet. Has looked really good in every lift so far.
Lou Ganari's Commonwealth Games representative trying to draw a smile out of her as she comes out. She's very composed.
Now it is Grace Small again. A bit of an up and down competition for her. Looking to finish strongly here. No lift for Grace Small. Frustrating. Misses her last 2 in the clean and jerk, but will finish with a total. Gets a total on the board, 130 kilogram total for Grace.
Her first national championship, so as I said, she had only just qualified at the recent secondary schools, which was her first ever weightlifting competition. So you're not exactly going through club sport, you're going straight to the national podium pretty quickly. She's showing she has talent for the future, so hopefully we'll see her back here again next year at the national championships.
A massive step up and a lot of lessons for her. Now cutting a relaxed figure, Teresa Whale.
Thank you, ladies. Bar is loaded and the clock has continued for Teresa Whale. Let's get down to one.
Comes out and part of her routine is almost stand here and yeah, tell yourself to smile. Let everything relax.
I love the socks.
Thumbs up comes from the coach and allows a little dance and eventually gets the approval from the judges.
Call is now on Alyssa Roy for her final lift here at the 2019 Nationals. Thank you, ladies. Bar is loaded and the clock has started for Alyssa Roy.
Alyssa Roy looking to make it 6 from 6. Currently leading the junior competition. We've still got a couple of those other junior contenders to come out in the clean and jerk.
Stop the clock, we have a change of call.
Going to be a change of call
kilos on the bar, please, ladies.
for Alyssa.
Not going to give herself any extra time, so they've run the clock down to 35 seconds, moved it up, in anticipation of a change of call, but it's not a change of call, so she's going to only have 30 seconds to get out and settle herself.
Oh, she hasn't flinched so far. Really composed performance to date from Melissa Roy. Now one more to finish it off.
Clock is at 10 seconds. Unfortunately, no lift there. And the clock did run itself down to 0. And that would have been a no lift even if she had completed the lift, because she did not start the attempt before the clock ran to 0.
Yeah, tricky, isn't it, when you don't give yourself much time and you still got your routine and process that you want to be able to do, but need to get on with things. And there's no, after the 30-second signal, there's no other alarm or warning, so you have to be aware of that yourself.
Thank you, ladies. Bars loaded to 86 kilos, and the clock is back on for Teresa Whale.
Teresa Whale.
Having a good day,
Yeah.
so let's see what happens. 86 kilograms.
Lots of green on the board for Teresa Whale. Now gets a chance to finish off at 86. Can't quite complete the lift. It was a good attempt, not to be, but still a good effort from Teresa Whale to complete with a total of 151, 83 in the clean and jerk, and a best of 68 in the snatch.
Just a little bit too much in that one. Sometimes it's those little white plates that just go on the end. It's just enough to push you outside your comfort zone or your strength level.
Can we have 92 kilos on the bar, please, ladies? Stop the clock.
Now we get towards the tail end of the competition, and this is where the battle really heats up for those podium positions. And we're likely to see a lot of tactical changes come through.
Holly Drain, who gives away absolutely nothing on the face. She is steely determined.
Let's just hold there, please.
Was on her way.
Just have the weight loaded back to 90 kilos, please, ladies.
I think they put in a late change, which changes the lifting order.
At 90 kilos.
And there was a couple that come off, so the bar's gone back to 90 rather.
The clock has started for Samara
And it
Wright.
is now for Samara Wright at 90.
Mara recently clean and jerked 100 kilograms at the secondary school championships.
We have a change of call. Can we have
She's
92
moving back up,
kilos
so
on the
that
bar,
will
please?
send out Holly Drain on 92.
Ruthless. And now she comes and sets herself again.
Mentioned that's a pretty hard thing to do, to walk out, be ready to lift, and then hit the relax button again, and then have to do it all over 30 seconds. Holly in her 3rd year of physiotherapy.
Powered through the clean. And a no lift though.
Little press out again. It's just that subtle extension of the elbows. If you didn't know what you're looking for, you wouldn't have seen that. You'll just see it just lock out and then just shift into a fully locked position. So Holly's going to have to go backstage. Now the coach has to make a decision. Do we need to go up to get onto the podium, or do we secure this?
We have a change of call.
And
Call is now on Holly Drain. at
Holly has
92
just also
kilos.
had her clock burned,
Wrong.
so she will be forced back out with only a minute.
Doesn't get a choice in the matter now. So
All of the weightlifting coaches are friendly in New Zealand, but when it comes to competition, we will take every opportunity to put pressure on your athletes.
Second straight attempt for Holly Drain. In a short succession, missed the first at 92. Now gets herself in position to have another go. She get it this time around. This time it's 3 white lights. That's what she wanted to see as she strides back out to the warm-up area. Successful at 92.
Holly does have a background in CrossFit, so I don't think that phased her too much, just walking straight back out and putting it above her head. So that conditioning aspect of lifting maximal weights within short succession worked for her.
Amanda Gould now at 93, her first attempt at the clean and jerk. She missed her final 2 attempts in the snatch. Score is 77 to start, so. Got it under control, Amanda Gould, but no lift. Able to laugh about it at the moment, but unable to record a score there, so no lift in the first attempt for Amanda Gould, and is going to follow herself at the moment. It's Amanda Gould and Holly Drain, our 2 athletes, completely contrast. Holly Drain, full of intent, focus. The old fanning getting down. It's very warm in here today. Biding their time, these athletes.
See a number of the athletes wearing New Zealand lifting suits. Holly has represented New Zealand at the Pacific Cup level. A number of levels that you can represent New Zealand. Pacific Cup being one of the first stages of representation before moving through to the Oceania Championships, and then a lot of these athletes have aspirations towards the Commonwealth Games and Olympic Games. Amanda's prepped and ready for attempt number 2 at 93.
Let's get down the ground. Come on, Amanda, big lift.
Much better second time round for Amanda Gould. Looks towards the scoreboard and sees the all clear. And the pressure comes off a little bit, just a little bit. 93 kilos. Good lift for Amanda Gould.
You can start to see on the scoreboard now Holly's 84 kilo snatch for a bit of a buffer. She's got a 6 kilo buffer on total at the moment from Amanda. However, we will now see a new athlete to the platform, Samantha Wright, who in the snatch section set a new New Zealand junior snatch record at 81 kilograms.
Thank you, ladies. Bar is loaded and the clock is on for Samara Wright.
She's a very relaxed figure, and she was thrilled with that record, and why wouldn't you be?
Stop.
And there was a late stop of the clock. Oh, the bar just a bit too loose.
So the centre referee, that's their role, is to make sure that the bar is loaded correctly and positioned. So the central referee just stopped that before the athlete walked out.
And you get a second round of applause for Samara Wright. Holds it strong.
Majority decision. I think there was a little bit of concern with that right elbow. This is a scenario where you drop it, walk off and smile.
Nothing to see there. Now, Holly Drain, her third and final attempt at the clean and jerk. She was successful at 92 at her second attempt. And now at 95.
That was her best lift of the three, I think. And good lift.
Allows herself a little smile. Good finish. Poor Holly Drain, 95, her best in the clean and jerk, leaving her with a total of 179. She's in top spot for the moment. Still a little bit of movement to come, and of course get to see Megan Signal and Piper Gwynn and Samantha Hansen in the clean and jerk yet to have their first attempts.
So we're just looking at the scoreboard. That puts Holly at 179. Then below her, Samara 176. So Samara will just look to add 4 to that lift, which she's doing, 99, so she needs 4 kilos. And then you've got Amanda, who will need another 10. So she'd need to move through to 103 on her third, which may be a bit too much of a jump. But here we have an athlete that has an exceptional clean and jerk, the New Zealand record junior record holder. So, as I mentioned earlier, this is where Piper's makes a comeback. She's so strong in this discipline that she can often make up the kilos from the earlier part.
Showing that prowess straight away, 99 kilograms successful. Good lift for Piper Gwynn, the junior record holder in the clean and jerk discipline.
Just really solid overhead. Balances, waits for the down signal, and now she'll go out back with her coach and figure out what do we need to do. What weight do we need to put on that bar? At the moment, 172 puts her in third position in the seniors.
Stop the clock, we have a change of call. Can we have 100 kilos on the bar, please, loaders?
100 kilos is going on to the bar now for Amanda Gould. Down to the real business end of this clean and jerk. This will be Amanda's final lift for competition, 100 kilograms.
It's a milestone lift for a number of athletes as the yellow plate goes on the bar, triple digits. Very few people in the world can put 100 kilos over their head.
That was a struggle. Tried to fight it. Gritted the teeth, but couldn't quite complete 100. So total finish for Amanda Gould, 170.
Call is on Samantha Hansen.
Bar is now moving to 101, and this is for Samantha Hansen. Samantha set a New Zealand snatch record and held it for 2 minutes today before it was taken by Samara Wright.
It's the battle within the battle. Some of the juniors. Samantha Hansen, 20 years old, so last competition as a junior. 101. Took her time, made sure of it. And a good start to the clean and jerk phase for Samantha Hansen.
Samantha also a big contributor. She was earlier this morning on the live stream also. Also recently took a New Zealand age group team away as a coach manager to Australia. So whilst only young in years, she is proving to be invaluable to the sport already.
No, Samara Wright, our record holder, junior record holder in the snatch, now 101. Her second attempt at the clean and jerk. No lift. As she looks at the screen as she walks off.
Call is now on Piper Gwynn for her second attempt.
That right elbow, I think it was. The referees certainly went to Specsavers this weekend.
Not missing much.
That's hard enough to see in a slow motion replay, let alone in real time.
Moving up, 101 kilos will remain on the bar.
So staying at 101 kilos, and that's still with Samara Wright. She's currently placed second in the junior competition, third in the senior. Senior coach Ray Everest is up at the table making a change. So
right down the back, hiding away, Tony Ebert, Munich Olympian, 74 Commonwealth Games gold medalist, still contributing to the sport years after, and it's how these events run. Fantastic to see him here.
Tells a couple of good yarns too.
He's got some great yarns, does Tony Ebert. I think he's told me the same one 3 or 4 times.
Piper Gwynn now has the clock on her. 102. Yeah, she's going to stop it though and go up a little. So jockeying between Samantha Hansen, Samara Wright and Piper Gwynn.
These are all junior athletes, all putting 100 kilos plus over their heads, and all trying to be on top of the podium. And this is what pushes them week in and week out training to turn up here and try and lift 1 kilogram more than your opposition.
Piper Gwynn it is. We saw how impressive she was in her first attempt, the clean and jerk. Real strength. Successful at 99. Now going to attempt 103.
I think she'd already... she got a white light. I don't know how she did that because she dropped it behind her. That's I think she knew she'd pressed it, and I think that's why she just walked through it at the end of it. I knew, yeah, I knew I've missed this. I'm just going to carry on out the back, focus on my next lift.
Big wide eyes out the back, coach. So, 3 exciting juniors, Samantha Hanson, Samara Wright and Piper Gwynn.
Something quite unique around weightlifting is actually the really low injury rate, because athletes actually learn how to dispatch a weight when it's not in the right position and move out of the way. And that's what you saw Piper do there. Just unlock and just walk forward and just safely get out of danger's way. You don't want 100 plus kilos coming back down on top of you.
So it's still going to be 104 kilos, and it's going to be Samara Wright who's up and ready to go.
So she did miss her last with a slight press out. So this, though, is an attempt at a 4 kilogram personal best. So she only recently put 100 kilos overhead, and now this is 104 kilograms.
I can't get it at 104, so has to be satisfied with it. 95 as her best effort in the clean and jerk, giving her a total of 176.
Just see her sitting slightly off to that right leg on the first pull and just twisting a little bit off the ground. May have had an impact as she went to extend through the middle.
Samara Wright sitting second in the juniors, and the other woman in contention there. This one, Samantha Hanson, who's first overall in both junior and senior. Megan Signal still to come, the clean and jerk. And now this looking to equal the New Zealand clean and jerk record, which is actually held by Piper Gwynn. 105 kilograms. In good form, Samantha Hanson, a 105 kilogram successful clean and jerk.
And that's new territory for her. She has not put 105 overhead before, and she still has a lift remaining. So this is exactly where you want to be in a competition, exceeding where you've been.
So Piper Gwynn's going to come back out at that same total, 105. Samantha Hanson is really raising her game. Gwynn.
This is certainly within Piper's capability.
Let's do previous lift at 103, now up to 105. Can't get a handle on that, no control of it at all. And so Piper Gwynn will finish with 172 total and leaves her third in the junior competition, fourth overall. Samantha Hanson, who's going to stride back out now with 108 in an attempt at a new New Zealand junior record in the clean and jerk. She's got the junior title sewn up.
She held the snatch record for 2 minutes, but if she's successful with this one, she will lock it in.
There's been a lot of records set today, and we'd like to see another one here.
Big lift, 108 kilograms, New Zealand junior record attempt.
Not out there for Samantha Hansen. She'll have to be content with just equaling that clean and jerk record. When I say just, she has taken the junior title in the women's 71 kilogram and will be on the podium in the senior division as well. Good lifts from Samantha Hansen, just couldn't quite finish off that last one. So now we go back to Megan Signal, the final lifter in the category. We saw her earlier break her own record in the snatch, getting a mark of 93, and now looking at her clean and jerk and total records as well, perhaps.
So this is a total record attempt straight off the bat. This is a 203 kilogram total, so this will be plus 3 kilograms on the New Zealand total record.
Good maths from you. Straight away, another record for Megan Signal, a new New Zealand record total in the 71 kilogram class, 203 with that successful clean and jerk of 110.
Just so strong overhead. Just locks it in, no hesitation, recovers it. So as Megan's following herself, she'll get 2 minutes, but every lift now after or thereafter, we will be witnessing New Zealand record clean and jerks and New Zealand record totals, such as the caliber of Megan Signal.
Stop the clock, we have a change on full. Megan moving up to 113 kilos.
And looking mighty relaxed out the back for lifting 110 kilos over your head a minute ago.
So 113 kilograms is going onto the bar, and this is an attempt at a new clean and jerk record. She's just set a new total record. This is just going to keep mounting that total if she can get this and surpass her previous record.
What's exceptional about this is Megan has just returned from the World Championships, where she actually set the Oceania clean and jerk record in the women's 64 kilo class. So it's fantastic that she's lifting here this weekend. That's a quick turnaround, but then to come back and lift these sorts of weights is just a testament to kind of the athletic capability of her. She's a fantastic athlete.
She looks at the moment an athlete who's in complete control of herself, knows she's in good shape, mentally in a really good space as well, seeing that improvement and progression all the time and enjoying herself.
It's a momentum sport. When you feel good, you lift well, it just snowballs, and that's when you get this really good run on.
She's up the total again, so it's now 115, so this would be a new record by 4 kilograms. And the clean and jerk here for Megan Signal, another attempt. Couldn't quite finish it off.
So close.
Yeah, I think she's there, isn't she?
115 will remain on the bar.
Still got another go.
So close. Look, just...
No,
let's have a look. Just was moving backwards slightly. That's about as close as you can get without getting it. Does have one more attempt though.
So has to back it up again. Bars loaded up, ready to go. About 2 minutes. Take your time to regather, knowing that she was very, very close. So a record set earlier in the snatch, 93 kilograms. And she's in fact changing the call and going up to 117 kilograms.
This is a massive lift. This is did I just hear an Oceania? I believe this is an Oceania clean and jerk record.
118 kilos in clean jerk. So see what she's going to do here.
So 117 kilos is there. Decision to be made. She's got the snatch record. She's got a new record total as well. 203 at the moment.
I don't know if I did hear that correctly, but I heard something about an Oceania record. Whether that's
118,
118.
I think it is. I think we just heard.
Oh, there
we go.
Wow.
Kilos on the bar.
This is massive.
Can we have a change of referees? We need
And of course, with that,
to sit in on this one, as this
it's an attempt at an Oceania record. Needs an official change as well.
Yep, we need IWF Category 1 referees. So these are our most senior referees, making sure your elbows are going straight.
All right, referees are ready to go. This is a big one, ladies and gentlemen.
Massive attempt here for Megan Signal, aiming to set not only a New Zealand record, but an Oceania record as well of 118 kilograms and the women's 71 kilo clean and jerk.
Clean.
Oh, not quite there. It was a very valiant effort.
That will give her massive confidence. To come out and stand up 118 kilos, that will serve mentally a massive milestone for her to move forward from.
Final attempt here, the Oceania record clean and jerk just wasn't quite there, but it has been a classy display by a very classy athlete in great form, and Megan Signal will take out the senior title in the women's 71 kilos, setting a new national record total of 203, a new snatch national record of 93 as well. Our junior winner, Samantha Hansen, we've seen records set across the board again. Gee, it's been a quality day, Richie, so far in every class, every division.
It's just so exciting to see. Like, they're not just turning up to nationals, our elite athletes, they're putting on a performance, and this is great lifting. I haven't seen a range of athletes all attempting these weights for quite some time. It's exciting for New Zealand weightlifting.
Very exciting indeed here at the Tower Insurance Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand National Championship. Still more to come here from the North Shore of Auckland. Up next from 5 o'clock, it's the men's 89 kilogram class. We'll be back shortly with all the action from that category.
At Tower, we're on a mission to simplify insurance. So we're making our policies easier to read and understand. Complicated insurance language is out, simple isn't. With New Zealand's first car, house and contents policies awarded the right mark, plain language standard. Tower. What the world does, we undo.
I respond really well to challenges. Like when I'm lifting, I am confident in myself that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Like, no doubt about it. I just need to work hard, and I know that I do.
This Olympic Weightlifting New Zealand event is proudly brought to you by Tower Insurance.